Ah, winter. In the cooler months when flowers are few and far between, camellias bring the party. Centre stage, they brighten up drab days with bold blooms and a backdrop of glossy green foliage. Sydney gardeners just love camellias. And with our warm temperate climate just right, they grow in suburbs from north to south, from east to west. And I'm visiting a nursery in the Hills District on the outskirts of Sydney, where they're busy keeping up with the demand. Camellias bloom from autumn into early spring. A display bench here at the nursery of freshly picked flowers hints at the huge range of species and cultivars available, from the fabulous, the fancy and frilly, to the variegated varieties. But I'm on the trail for a fragrant camellia, and they're harder to come by. In fact, of the roughly 250 wild camellia species, there's only a special handful that have fragrance, and they're sensational. Camellia lutchensis is a species with delicate white blooms that are tickled pink on the underside. And the fragrance can be described as like cloves, a bit spicy. This little wonder will charm those detractors who find showy camellias a bit too ornate. It's got a slightly weeping habit and can get up to 2.5 meters tall. And it's behind a number of fragrant cultivars, like this one here at the nursery. High fragrance is a good example of the dedication it takes to bottle that elusive fragrance and put it into a new plant. Renowned breeder of scented camellias, James Finlay in New Zealand, took over 22 years to get high fragrance over the line. It has a big, loose, ruffled, pale pink flower and smells like a sweet rose. With a strongly upright open habit, you could try it in a mixed planting, like here in the woodland garden. This cultivar has been turned into a hedge. It's called Minato-No-Akebono, and its blooms smell sweet and spicy. Blooms are lovely in their understated elegance, with petals in shades of pink and bronze centres. It'll get up to about 1.5 meters to 2 meters and has a gentle drooping habit. To use as a hedge or screen, plant each one about 1 metre apart. Growing here, it's a typical tricky spot many people have, between a building and a boundary. Camellias are so suitable because they have shallow roots and they'll not disturb the brickwork or foundations. All it needs is a light trim after flowering to keep it narrow and shapely. Now this one looks pretty similar to Minato with its simple, unfussy flower, but it's actually Koto-No-Kaori, and it has a delightful fragrance. It has an upright, semi-open form and grows to about 2 meters. Camellias are versatile. If you've only got room for something small, there's fragrant varieties for containers. Spring mist grows into a medium-sized evergreen shrub, and its spreading open habit lends itself beautifully to a large pot. It also flowers for a long period. This cultivar is Sweet Emily Kate, and it's beautiful as well as worth sticking your nose in, with an abundance of miniature flowers and a cinnamon fragrance. It gets to about 1 to 1.5 meters tall and about 1 meter wide, and it's quite slow growing and forms this bushy habit, so it's perfect for growing under trees and also in containers. Camellias love a well-drained, slightly acidic soil. Your local nursery will stock a specially formulated potting mix for plants like camellias that prefer slightly acidic growing conditions. Now I'm taking this camellia out of its pots. And this container is wide enough to allow the shallow roots to spread out and grow. Now I'm backfilling with the mix and top dressing with a thin layer of compost and leaf mulch. Camellias come from forested woodland areas and love rich, fertile growing conditions. The mulch mimics their natural environment and keeps their roots cool and moist. A good quality potting mix will have enough slow-release fertiliser for the next 6 months, but growing forward, feed your camellias at least twice a year, after flowering in spring and again in early autumn. Use a camellia-specific feed, like this pelletised fertiliser. Water in and keep moist, especially during summer. But they're not bog plants, so you don't need to drown them. They're best in a sunny or partly shaded position, and protect from cold wind and hot afternoon sun. And you can lightly trim to shape in spring after flowering. Whilst fragrant camellias might be overshadowed by big, bold cultivars, once you get your nose in, the scent of these beautiful flowers on a crisp morning is one of the best things about getting outside.